Hello IT Pros, welcome back to my IT workshop. In this video what we are going to do is, using this laptop, we are going to simulate as if its hard drive has failed, and we're going to recover its backup that we're going to make in this video from an external hard drive using Acronis recovery software. So now, to that end, what I'm going to need is an external hard drive, which is here, and I'm going to back up all the information and operating system in this computer. Besides, I'm going to also use a USB. The size should be, well, it doesn't really matter, but 2, 4 gigabytes, 8, to create the bootable disk, the bootable USB. And then I have the current hard drive, which is, we're going to simulate that is going to fail. It's not, but we're going to make it so. And then we're going to take out the old hard drive and going to replace it with this new SSD, which is PNY 240 gigabytes. After we have physically replaced it and take out the old one, we're going to use the USB to boot up the Acronis recovery software. And then we're going to retrieve the saved or the backup from the external hard drive. And then it should work. Okay, so for that end, as I mentioned, we're going to use, in this case, this laptop, which is an Acer. And what we're going to do here is we're going to check, as you can see, this is an Acer, Windows 10, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 operating system, 64 bits operating system. The name is laptop, not a very creative name. And now we're going to check this my PC, or this PC, to see what's inside. Here's my PC. We have a 500 gigabytes hard drive. We are using less than half of it. And below that, there is the Toshiba external hard drive, where we are going to make the backups. Now we have these two files, which are the warranty, which we can delete anyway. Now we are going to open the Acronis hard drive, the Acronis software. I already have installed and configured, well, not configured, licensed, because a license comes included when you buy a PNY hard drive. So if you know how to do it, I'm going to leave the link in the description below for you. You can check the video. So now I'm going to create a new backup. I'm going to change the name. It's going to be called weekly backup. You can name anything that you want. It's advisable to do a backup at least once a month. And now I'm going to choose my source, which is going to be the entire PC, since I don't have any other hard drive or disk in this computer. And the destination is going to be my Toshiba external hard drive. So I select that. I'm going to need around 134 gigabytes. So that's kind of that big, but it's going to take a while. It depending how much information you have, is going to take more or less time to complete the backup. So in the meantime, let's go to tools. As you can see, we have many options here, like clone disk, which is what we have done in the last video. Well, not in the previous video. And we have many other options, like build and rescue media builder, which is actually what we are going to do. We have these other options like Acronis Universal Restore or mobile app, which are locked. And that's because the version we have, the Acronis version that comes included with the PNY, is a limited one. Okay, so we can only do clone, we can clone disk and rescue and create a USB or bootable CD. But we are going to click on the rescue media builder, and we are going to start a process. Okay, so I'm going to choose simple, since we don't need any other fancy features for this deployment. And we have 4 options: ISO file, WIN file. We can choose if we have a DVD, CD, we can burn it, or the last one, which is the one we are going to use. We can also choose the ISO file, and with a third-party tool like Rufus, we can turn it into a bootable USB as well. But since I have it here available, I'm going to choose that one. As you can see, it's grayed out. I'm going to connect my USB, and now I can select it. Now it's calculating how much space it's going to need, which is around 625 megabytes, which I have. So it's not that big, at least for today's standards of USB thumb drives. As you can see here, I have it connected, so any information that you have in your thumb drive is going to be deleted. I'm going to click and create, and this is going to take around 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So I stopped the video and I started to record again when a few minutes have passed. As you can see, we have it finished, and the 3 steps to follow are, okay, the first one is connect the rescue media to your computer or CD, in this case it's a USB. Then arrange the boot order into your BIOS, in this case the laptop, so the USB is going to be the first to boot. And the third one is from the software of the Acronis software that you're going to boot from the USB. We're going to continue with the process of retrieving our backup to the new disk, which is going to be empty until we replace it. Okay, so we close this. We don't need to do anything else here. And as you can see, we still have a long way to go for the backup. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when we are done so we can continue. Okay, back we are. As you can see, we are less than 1 minute to finish the backup. And don't panic if you see 5 hours, 8 hours, or even 10 hours or more. That's not true. The time is always going to be down. Well, unless you have an insane amount of data, of data like 10 terabytes or 5 terabytes or something of the sort. Now, the backup has finished. It took around 1 hour and a half. Now we can see the distribution of the backup. We can see pictures, videos, audio, documents, system, others. So this is what the backup is comprised of. We go to our external hard drive, and we can see the file, which is around almost 90 gigs, which apparently Acronis has a way to compress the file even further, so it doesn't take as much space. Now, if we go back here, if we go to options, we can see many other things like schedule the backups, daily, weekly, monthly, non-stop, upon event. In my case, I do it monthly. I don't change many things in my system that often, but if you do, perhaps weekly is the best option. Backup scheme, in this case, is full backup, which means you are always backing up the 100% of your hard drive. We have exclusions then, where you can select what you want to back up and what you don't want, like folders. And then we have the advanced, with it's like encryption, many things, many options are not available because of the version that we have. And lastly, for now, the only thing we have to do is shut down the operating system so we can start replacing the hard drive. Okay, now that the computer is shut down, I'm going to start removing the screws from the back. I have already done a few, well, most of them, because there were more than 7. Excuse me. Now I'm going to start removing the cover. I found that this laptop took me a lot of time to take out the cover, because in order to access the hard drive, you have to remove the keyboard, as you see me doing, well, trying to do it here. So it was a little annoying to do this. Normally I deal with laptops that you have to take out the cover on the back of the computer, so that's way easier. So in this case, I had to do it this way. That's why it took me a long time. As you can see, it has the connection for the keyboard and other components, so it took me a while to take it out. So that's why the video is it's a speed up, so you don't get bored by watching me trying to access hard drive. So here I have finally taken the cover out, well, the keyboard, but the connectors, I had a rough time trying to disconnect these cables. So finally I have done it, and now you see the fan for the CPU, and I'm going to start taking out the old hard drive. So as you can see, we have this connect this cable, this connector that links the motherboard with the USB port on one side of the laptop, and that also, and it was glued to the case of the hard drive. So it took me a while, some minutes to take it out. So I had to slowly do it very carefully, trying to take it out without damaging this cable, otherwise those two USB wouldn't work. Now I have finally done it, and I'm removing the old hard drive. So I'm going to take out the screws from this as well. And after I have done that, I'm going to replace it with the new PNY SSD 240 gigabytes. Now I do the same process in reverse. I'm going to protect it with the case, and I'm going to start putting the screws back. After I have done it, I forgot this. I have to put this little thing, so it's a little higher. Now I put all the screws back, and I'm going to connect it back to the motherboard. So very carefully try to do it, and I start to connect these cables again, which is not difficult, but it took me a while to do it anyway. Now, after I have connected, I have secure my case with my hard drive to the motherboard. I really had a hard time connecting the keyboard cable to the motherboard and the other two, because it's very you have a limited space to do it, because you have to kind of have it half open. Took me a while. That's why I don't want you to see all the time that it took me. So this part was complicated. Well, after that, I started to put back the screws, not all of them, because some connection might not have work, or might be a little not well secure. But we are going to try to boot up the Acronis recovery software. As you can see here, it has started, so I'm going to choose Acronis True Image, which is the software that is being booted from the USB that we have prepared while using Windows. So as you can see, Acronis loading. You see it here, and we're going to go to backups. Here I'm using the tab in the keyboard because the mouse pad on the laptop doesn't work. So this is very frustrating. So after a few tries, as you see me here trying to go through the process, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to get a regular mouse that I had connected to one of the USB ports in the computer on the laptop. That way is way better. I advise you to do that. So as you can see here, I have connected my external hard drive, and you see the backup, weekly backup full V1 is 1V1. So that's the one we have created while using Windows, and now that's the one we have to recover. So that's the one we have to choose from here, from the options that are shown to us. But again, this is the part where I said, okay, this is really complicated. I'm going to grab a mouse. Now you have to choose all the components that you have here by default, because that's what the backup is made of. Now this is where I have the mouse, the regular mouse. So I'm going to choose that one. That's the one. I'm going to go next. Here, recover. I'm going to choose all of them, disk 1. I go next, and then it's going to take a few seconds, and the process is going to start. So as you can see here, I have the PNY, which is my hard drive. This is good because I am sure that the new hard drive, well, the new SSD is being recognized by the system because I can see it here. And now I choose it because I don't have any other option. Now it's going to take a few seconds. It's going to give me like an overview of what is going to install, and then it's going to start the process. It's going to take a while. It took like 1 hour or something like that. And after that, I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to come back when this is done. Welcome back. So we are a few seconds ago. We are seconds away from the process being finished. And after that, the only thing we have to do is the system is going to ask us, hey, it's going to tell us, hey, the process has finished. You have to shut down your computer, or it's going to be done in about 10 seconds. So you can wait for it, okay, or you just can click on shutdown. So here we are. I'm going to take out the USB. I don't need it anymore. And the external hard drive, I don't need it either. So if you have this error, missing operating system, if you have that error, you have to restart the computer and go to your BIOS. In the case of Acer, it was escape, if I remember correctly. And you have to go to boot. You have to make sure that the boot mode is UEFI, and the boot priority order, secure boot is enabled, and your hard drive PNY 240 gigabytes is in the first choice, is the first option. So it's going to be the first one to boot when starting the operating system, when trying to find Windows. After that, you save it, and the computer is going to restart. And let's see what happens. So here I am restarting the computer, and it's loading, and here we are. So we have that one, we have access the operating system, so I'm going to log in. And there we go. So now I'm going to go to the other screen, so that way I'm connecting and we have a better video quality. And now, as I mentioned, I'm connected using TeamViewer. Now I go to my PC, or this PC, and you can see that the new hard drive is less. It has less space than 500 gigs. It's the PNY SSD PNY 240 gigs. Now I want to show you the configuration. No, it's not the configuration. I want to show you the computer management. I want to go to disk management. Okay, here we are. As you can see, I don't have any other hard drive, so it's the one that we have configured previously, and the one from which we have recovered the backup from the external hard drive. So having that, I'm going to go to this PC, right click on it, and properties. So you can see it's the same Acer, the same characteristics, the same Windows 10 Home Edition. So that will be for the video, guys. I know it was a little long. But that's the way you can retrieve your backup if your hard drive fails, or even if you want to change it, you just clone it. That's a way. It's an easier way. It's an easier path. So thank you for watching. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And thank you very much again, and I'll see you in the next one.